Right, onward. Let's keep heading south. To the Arab states. What is this? Destroy Greenskin Cave. I suppose we could, but we're not in fighting shape. We need a good delivery mission so we can heal up. Not a bad price for tools. We've got two guys who will be passable ranged fighters. We are still on the hunt for kite shields. And I should pick up things like leather neck guards now whenever I can. Add that extra bit of survivability. It's not much, but it's something, you know. Especially for these nimble lads. Let's keep doing some exploring. I want to keep finding orc hideouts. Orc caves, hopefully. Now this is going to be a bunch of zombies, and I always love the XP these things give you. But again, a plethora of armored Wiedingangers. This is probably the best time to get some XP on some of the lower level boys. We leave the injured lads out. So Dirk isn't going to do a damn thing, I don't think, but you can loose the odd crossbow bolt, I suppose. Memory you, ranged lad. And hopefully we can get at least one or two basic sets of mail out of these zombos. The ground we're fighting on looks fine. It might be worth rushing forward here. Nah, too risky. Hold. Hold. Oh, there's one. It's dented, but there's another one. That's untouched. That lad has to get daggered down. Remember, we've got two dagger specialists now, but the one's wounded. Hold the line, lads. This is an excellent group of shuffling EXP. Well, Dirk, first shot in the company, kills a zombie. Good lad. Good job. 3 zombies killed turn 1. Good. Good, good, good. Two for 2 so far on Dirk. I agree completely, Conductive. I mean, of all of the ranged weapons, I mean, throwing weapons are the most forgiving to starter ranged guys, but they have such short range. Like, if you're throwing a javelin, it's plus 20 chance to hit. It's basically the spear of the throwing weapon world. But it's always nice to have a crossbow to actually be able to loose bolts at the enemies as they close in. attack. 3 for 3 on that crossbow lad. I think we go for trying to stab both of them. Or flail them. Perfect. Straight into surrounding. And into surrounded and height disadvantage. Damn. Poke a poke. Are we? We want to leave these two to last. 4 for 4 on the ranged guy. I mean, at point blank like that, he's got 64% chance to hit. And he only has 40 something accuracy. Wait, couldn't I have used... I could have used recover there. That was a silly mistake. There's a zombie in that bush, I reckon. Here he is! Fuck off. That doesn't help, but we can rotate out. Attack there. Lads. Yeah, so Egil and Bjarne are the lower level guys, so I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by that. I mean, if you think about the fact that zombies can actually be stunned, that doesn't really make sense, does it? Still, just be grateful, I suppose. Imagine if you couldn't crowd control or stun some of the higher level undead, how scary would that be? Okay, make with the stabbing, please. Letting us down. I keep missing out actions. Playing too quickly. Slow down, Stobbie. Pay attention to what you're doing. There you go. And good. 2 good sets of basic mail. Now at least everyone on the front line has at least basic mail. Excellent. Decent XP as well. For a pole mace lad, I mean, this dude's stats are garbo. Let least the melee defense is not dreadful. Bam, bam. A pole mace guy really doesn't want fast adaptation. He's not going to have the fatigue for Brawny, I don't think. Ranged lad. The first of many 4s, I think. Got that fatigue. Nice. Our caravan guy's level 6, so we can stop prioritizing his leveling up now. Excellent. Yeah, so sword, flail, dagger. Oh God, the injuries piling up. Goon, so he needs a flail, I think. Dagger and dagger goes there and there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to just reorganize here. This is a bit crazy. So it's Goa who's out for the longest time. Let's get a goon back in there. Just gonna say, where's all my cocking flails? Ah, there's the other one. Well, I'll leave him kitted as he is. He'll be back in soon. I hope. So I want to get Dirk, the ranged lad, leveling. I want to get Emery leveling. I want to get Dieter leveling. Polearm lad, he's a priority for leveling. James is a goon. He needs to be in the front line as well. The Bjarne should probably come out. Where's my flail? We're short of flails now for some reason. Where did they go? Yeah, so these are my 2 low-level replacement lads. Boa, flail lad. I wonder if there's a flail sitting in reserve somewhere. Oh, I sold it. 1, 2, 3. Sold one that I shouldn't have. Ranged lad, ranged lad. Let's use the axes, I think. Well, the option is there with the crossbows, if they need them. Well, it's funny you say Orc Chain, because our lads get extra fatigue recovery at higher levels of Davkul devotion. So I think for our 2-handed flail guys, or the guys marked as 2-handed flail users, they're going to use 2-handed flails. Oh God, okay, hang on. So I'm just counting the cultists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh. Yes. The Board Warlock. Welcome, you bloody peasant. I agree, Goa. I very much want to go south. Just bear in mind, though, those southern lads. Oh man, there's such good zombie farming here. I can't turn down XP like this. A few marksmen, that's doable as well, but not while the lads are injured. It's just stay on the road. We'll come back to that. Hopefully we get ourselves a patrol mission. 2 skills, no. I don't need to, because by default, you know, if they have like a role, I know they're a cultist. If they're called goon or something like tank or dagger lad, I know it's a cultist. Anyone with in brackets S, is a sacrifice. Defend from greenskins. Destroy cave. I think I'll probably pick up that as well. To the south. $101. Okay, good. Here's where we can offload our junk. Whoopsie, didn't mean to sell that boar spear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's up, Raging Fury? Okay, so now Dieter becomes less of a priority because he is not a cultist. Awesome. So for the first time in the entire campaign, we have 12 active cultists. I think that deserves a...
And there was much rejoicing.
Oh, I spoke too soon. 11. Nope. Anyway, so Gobboa is pretty damn good. Oh, dude, spears are super important, man. Hyenas, direwolves, webbernecks, all sorts of what are they called again? Nachtseers. Any of the fragile but hard to hit enemies. Spears are the way to go. Spiders especially. Those little spiders are so tough to hit. And not at the moment, Kakabila. Let's take a little look. I don't think so. Viewer name, viewer name. Yeah, these are all viewer names. Just be patient, my friend. So which of these flail guys has the lowest accuracy? That would be Emon. Now you bet your ass more will join the cause, they better. Well, this hat denotes our bannerman. The only concern I have is that or Mizuma, who's our monolith tank, he's the highest ranking cultist. So most likely, when we get the sacrifice event to get the Davkul armor, if it gives us the chance to sacrifice Mizuma, we're going to have to, because you really want your bannerman to be the highest ranking guy. So he can use that AoE fatigue increase. Good day, we've even got spare basic mail. Well done. I can't remember, I think the last one was on day 90. 220, that's okay for profit. It's super unlikely we find a cultist in town, but it's worth checking. Hang on, we did get, here we go, a level 1 cultist. Give him a little boost. Basic mail isn't better really than, it's not a great mail, but I like it. I think of it as a good starter mail, so 115 for 12, it's almost 10 to 1. Whereas this is 110 for 12. So it's basic, it's slightly better. And I think this is the best mail you can reliably get for free, in that you take it off the corpses of zombies and similar. Slap on some shoulder guards and 125 for 12. It's 10 to 1. So Martin, I think there's actually 2 events like that where you've got to sacrifice high level brothers. But for the armor it gives you, totally worth it. But how much is tools? Do you think we can justify some tools? 250. To the south, we're almost fully healed up. But you know what, considering we have this ambition, maybe we shouldn't be heading to the south. Maybe what I should be doing is clearing out little orc caves like that. Actually, look at that. These two are perfect. Those are small orc caves. Back to the north. What's that? That is lindworms. No. 4 days to the north. Perfect. What we need now is for our caravan hands event to proc. It should actually happen now, because I believe it's most likely to proc when you are on the road. So Martin, as I understand it, for the high-level cultist armor, there's a headpiece and a body piece. Not yet Raging Fury. I keep meaning to go to the south to do arena fights, but I mean, if I look at the brothers that I have, Mizuma is, well, when he's level 11, he'll be arena ready. James is a goon. He's not really that good. Stobbie maybe. Like, if I could send 3 guys into the arena, I think I want a high damage dagger guy, a high defense tank, and like a high accuracy ranged guy, which we don't have. Maybe we take in 2 daggers and a tank, but then I'll struggle with shields. Helm is a... Ooh! Roderick, a man in rags, yet armored in the shadows of Davkul. Right, who's next for getting a cultist? And this is just... He could be decent tanky-wise. I think maybe I'll just make him I'll just label him a goon. I don't see this as long-term potential. 53 melee skill to start. And regular is 1 to 3, so let's call it 20. Yeah, so 73. I don't think I need another tank. We've got Mizuma and we've got Sparrow 4. But on the assumption that Mizuma is going to have to be sacrificed. The thing is, though, I don't think he's good enough to be a Black Monolith tank. In fact, he has ailing, so... Does that include the fart gas from the priest? He's a tank lad. Right, now who's the one non-cultist in this group? Dirk, the other ranged lad. We could make him... he's not even... He doesn't even have the right thing for polearm. He'll just be a goon. He's just a body. That's all he is. I actually don't... I think you're right, Deucey. Yeah, it's only when you stand in it. Okay, so on the left here, we have guys who I wouldn't mind keeping. Actually, Bione is a sacrifice goon. He's pretty crap. Egil is a pole mace. I would love for these 3 to get converted, so we'll keep them that side. Bione is now a straight sacrifice. Let's get rid of him. Maybe we just fire him. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, conductive. I think that guy's just a goon. Ooh, a brigand leader. The few marksman is a little concerning, but finally we get to fight against a brigand leader. Now, I think these level 1 ranged lads, they are technically going to be under threat, but let's at least just try to encourage the AI to come forward. The flails will do very well against these raiders once we are close up. So we'll go like this in case the ranged guys take a crossbow bolt or two and they have to tank up. Try to get away. Forest fight, that's not good. Oof, look at these bear heads. All my flail wielding goons are... Oof, a piece of cloth. It's a brave armor strategy, Cotton. Well, it's Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them. Yeah, it's a good point about the ice cave. We'll try. I think the lads can just stay where they are. Let's put should we move one forward? Let's move one forward here. So, forward. We'll actually shield up as well, because there could be a stray crossbow bolt flying across the battlefield. We've got 3 flails. We'll put 2 flails up here and 1 down there. Sparrowfall can stay back and rotate someone out. Where is the leader? I don't see him. Okay, that's fine. It's okay armor. That's that 140 armor. His mace is what we really want. That's worth quite a bit. What I really want is heavy armor now. I have a few guys who might be able to wear heavy armor, but we haven't found any heavy armor yet. Still, we can start running at leaders now, groups with leaders whenever we find them. Oh, my ass! The 0 stamina build. Exclamation mark chat is all I can say. Never listen to chat. Chat is the worst. You are trolling me, my friend. 0 stamina build. You are having a bath if you think I'm going to believe you. Actually, no. So, Mizuma, keep the leader busy while we kill everybody else. You'll have to explain to me. Pretend I don't know what you mean when you say 0 stamina build. Because it sounds to me like you're suggesting you build guys with no stamina, which sounds idiotic. I'm guessing there's some little interaction I don't know about. That's why I love the flails on my guys who don't have long-term potential. I think the flail is one of the best weapons of getting the most value out of a crap brother. I mean, because in the first 250 days, as we've discussed, for the most part, you're going to be killing raiders, and a lot of them don't wear head armor. Spec cost 12 stam. Are you talking about some weapon that costs 12 stamina to swing? Is that the two-handed mace? Was it a duelist build? Still BF. Use your words, dude. Any non-orc two-handed. Alright. Well, I'll leave that weird stuff to Filthy. I'm still, you know, I'm not on his level, so. Battleforged. Alright. Oh! Job. Love these flails. They're designed for hunting raiders. I might start trying some crazy shit like that once I've done with this playthrough where I've done all of the content. All of the late game stuff. But I don't know. Give it a try. I mean, I suppose the main plus point of that low stam build is that you don't care about getting hit by maces. It seems pretty niche. And I mean, I want to be having dagger guys. You just saw there why dagger lads are so good. I quite like my flail guys. They will do quite well for these first 250 days once we get super, you know, well established. All of these flail using goons are going to get replaced eventually. What I see this company is being a bunch of heavy armor hedge knight guys, all using two-handed maces and two-handed flails. That's exactly what they're designed to do, is to farm gear in the early game. And I don't have to spend AP breaking shields. I just spend the AP to do damage directly. So these shots are incredibly unlikely to hit, but I mean, it's just a crossbow bolt a turn that I'm casting. Shot, Dirk! For a level 2 lad with 50 aim. Didn't work. Oh, when you get a named rondel, oh, that's so wonderful. In my pre-patch experimentation, we got ourselves a rondel that maxed out at 50 damage. Was sick. I mean, I was so excited to try the Catal dagger, but I need to experiment with it more. But so far, I've been pretty underwhelmed. Like, against anyone with armor, it's not that great. I think maybe here we rotate Mazuma out. Stabby stab. It was a higher armor and armor ignore damage roll. Well, the armor ignore is only for the basic attack. And for me, it's all about base damage with those daggers, because you're going to be using puncture, ideally. I mean, when you can puncture for, if you roll max and you puncture for 50 damage, it's 50 unavoidable. Is sick. So, well, speaking of fatigue recovery, one thing I didn't realize, if what I was told in chat is true, is that getting hit by any weapon removes 3 fatigue, whereas getting hit by a mace removes 10 fatigue. I did not know that. It's great that you can play 2,000 hours in the game and still, you know, still learn. I mean, it seems like kind of interesting, that 0 fatigue build, but I mean, how often are you not able to attack every turn? Like, hardly ever. But as you can see here, I'm having to use recovery, so... But I mean, what I'm trying to do is get my guys to a point where they're only having to use recovery like every 3rd turn. I think like playing that way with the 0 fatigue build certainly has its advantages, but it just seems a little dull to me. Every single person pretty much the same. Move forward, attack once. Move, attack once. I love being able to swing in a big arc with a great sword and use the big, you know, round swing with the flail, which almost never works, but when it does, it's hysterically funny. Okay, so for this crossbow range lad, we got to go gifted. He needs the stat boost, that's for sure. I think with 60 hit points, we'll take Colossus. Our dodgy Bannerman, let's see here. I think his melee attack's going to stay there. 69... I don't know. I can't turn down +2 on melee skill. Okay, we got dodge. I wonder if I want to pick up Relentless. Maybe. We got Fearsome. Oh yeah, he does need Colossus. He's a light armor, bro. +4 defense ranged, +5 range skill. That's what I want to see. And obviously the resolve is dreadful, but that'll get improved by being a cultist. Good fight, lads. Look at that, we've almost got the required number of heater shields. Just need 2 more. Excellent. Anyone need this dagger? And speaking of daggers, I should probably invest in a couple Rondell daggers. I've got 2 dagger using mains. Helmets. I think I can do better. I can switch out these nasal helmets with mail. Okay, so who's going to get the leather scale? Someone on the flanks, I would imagine. 130. Let's call that 140. This is 130. Righto, so who are the 4 lowest level lads? These 2 sacrifices, and then these guys are even lower. More brigands. Please just be thralls. I don't want to fight. Ugh. We will be picking up Relentless on our dodgy bannerman, but at level 10 I wanted the other. I wanted the raw HP. So we'll go back for Relentless, probably the next turn. Another one of the reasons I love this game so much, I can sit and talk perks all day long. And remember what perk to take. It's only half the discussion. The other half of the discussion is when to take it. Why am I using Puncher on someone with no armor? The slaughter. Davkul approves. I should have reloaded. God, I'm full of mistakes. Well, to be fair, I'm really tired. I mean, I just came back from our fishing trip this morning. It's bloody great. Going fishing with my brother and my nephews. The fishing wasn't good. We didn't catch much, but you know, it's just nice being out there. Caught myself a nice little carp within 20 minutes of getting lines in the water. It's so typical. I was on the water for 2 days. I caught my one and only fish within the first half an hour and then caught nothing the rest of the time. Fucking hell. Get Goa out of there. Goa. 1 hit point. That's how you know you've leveled someone perfectly, when they survive with 1 hit point. It's like passing a test with, you know, 51%. Well, I couldn't do any of that, Martin. I had my 8-year-old nephew with me, so it was an endless stream of gibberish. But bless him. Well, Jolly, when I moved to the UK, I couldn't do any fishing. Which is a pity. I love it. And it's always nice to fish in another country where you don't know the local waterways and fish. Got. I mean, if you're an American, I'm always interested by what Americans would make of the fishing in South Africa, because we have so many non-endemic fish. We have, like, in the dam I was at, it has a giant largemouth bass population. The bass have been introduced a little while ago. Obviously, the Americans are the expert at catching bass. I'd love to see an American guy who knows what he's doing go for largemouth here in South Africa, because I imagine all your knowledge of catching bass in America would be completely valid in another country as well. I mean, a bass is still a bass. I'm sure that they changed their habits a bit in another country, but another environment, I should say, but it's still mostly the same. Right, Goaboa, you've earned some time off, I think. Oh, keep these +5s coming. Keep them coming. He's almost got the 20 stamina range defense that he needs. Then we can start really buffing up resolve and hit points. Right, who are we going to put in there? Probably the tanky lad. Let's go for a 6 and 6 build. I've actually, when I run 6 and 6, I like doing 2 groups of 6 like this. Leaving that spot in the middle stops the flanks from getting compromised too hard. A lot of times the AI will try to send units down the middle, and then any melee unit that puts himself there is getting double surrounded. More of a trout guy. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I used to fly fish when I was younger, but now I'm old and lazy. I love long line carp fishing. You get the line set up, and you can just sit for hours and hours and hours, and you just wait. And eventually, it's so exciting when the lines finally go. And I treated myself to a totally new setup, so I had brand new rods and reels. The last time I bought myself fishing equipment was, geez, like 20 years ago when I was in high school. Okay, let's switch out some damaged armor. 94. 70. Ugh. No range defense or footwork. No rotate. Well, I'm sure you'll get to the punchline where you tell me what he is doing defensively for his archers. That sounds effective, but incredibly expensive. I mean, smoke grenades are what, 600 gold a pop? And I'm sure you tell me, oh, they're good at this point when you have this and you have that. Like, well, it's fine, but you have to get there. Oh yeah, he's way more meticulous than me. I make way too many mistakes. I'm the first person to admit that. But I'd like to think that if I was able to stream full time, I wouldn't be streaming exhausted. But most of the time, like now, I'm exhausted now when I'm streaming, and it's very hard to stop the mistakes from creeping in when you're so tired, you know. Oh, good shot. Yes. I mean, the only 2 builds I've come up with that I'm like almost willing to say I'm proud of them is my hybrid archer with the bow specialization and throwing weapon specialization, and these goon type characters. I mean, it's not a genius. It doesn't take a genius to think of it, but it's helped me a lot. It's getting myself out of that mindset of I have to find superstars from day one and only hire the best. And no, you don't. In the beginning, you're just trying to stabilize and get your company going. You can take almost anyone, and giving these guys the skills that make them viable in those first few hundred days has been great. I mean, these flail guys, like, none of them have great stat distribution. They're all crap, but they're doing work. I'm even going to give them backstabber for that extra bit of accuracy. Obviously, they'll fall off eventually, but, you know, until then, doing quite well. $53, $65. I think what Filthy's great at and what I need to improve is turn order management. Like, I just move my guys as their turn comes up, unless I'm waiting to break a shield first. But this just goes down to, again, playing when I'm so tired. Thank you, Conductor. And as I've said before, and I'll say again, I think, like, you can talk about the best way to build or the right way to build till the cows come home. But almost any build can be viable as long as you play accordingly to, you know, play into the strengths of your build. Oh yeah, I love these caravan hands, you know, aka pin cushions. Nice, that was a nice little morale cascade there. I hope we're going to see that more often when we all have fearsome. I mean, we should. Get 'em, lads. They charged us, the fools. Oh, dagger specialization. I can't believe for a while I didn't think of dagger specialists as being viable. Just because they do fall off late game, but that doesn't mean they're not useless. They are devastating for quite a long time. Oh no, not at all. No, because remember, for a morale check, you have to do 15 hit point damage, and if you got the 20 to 40 dagger, unless the target has nimble, if you land a puncture, it's always going to roll for morale, and then in that situation, fearsome is useless. I mean, if I give a dagger guy fearsome, it's only going to be doing anything if he's landing puncture on someone who's got dodge. Oh, so nimble, sorry. We've got to do some swapping out of whatever costs more here. So crossbows are worth a lot. The butcher things are worth a lot. That bow is pretty worthless. I think, well, like, it depends how you want to build your dagger guy. Do you want to make him, I think because it's lone wolf, you want him to be as useful as he can in the majority of situations, rather than being maximally powerful, although in other situations he'll be weaker. Which I think you already know what I'm talking about, which is you give him executioner and crippling strikes. I think that's the way to get the most horsepower out of your dagger guy. But of course, he's going to do almost nothing against undead. So if you're happy to accept that he's going to be weaker against non-organics, then go for, like, here's my dagger lad. You do pretty much this. I mean, what I like about my dagger lads is you can take shield expert to offset the lack of defense a lot of them have. If you luck out and you get a guy with stars in melee skill. But honestly, if I get a lad with stars in melee defense and melee skill, I'm making him a two-hander. But crippling strikes, killing frenzy, executioner, all those damage buffs apply to puncture. What I don't have confirmed yet, though, is whether the damage buff from huge applies to puncture. I think it doesn't. Should we go Indom? I think I want to go Indom. That's a good point. You can just switch him out to a greatsword, yeah. Kratox the... Oh, +3. Love it. +3. Let's go Fatigue. Let's go Headhunter. Like, for someone who had such crap stars as he did, 78 melee skill at level 9, and 45 melee defense with a kite shield, 76 hit points, 73, is not bad. And it's only going to get better as his fanaticism level increases. Fatigue. Okay, sword tank needs to hold the outside flank, so underdog. And then at level 11 we will take Indom and go back for Brawny so he can use heavy armor. Indom and Brawny. That unfortunately means he doesn't have a perk point for taunt, but the real reason I want taunt is so that I can taunt witches, and what I'm hoping is that if we can farm enough armor pieces with runes and sigils, and everyone has high base resolve from their fanaticism level and get extra resolve from a high resolve bannerman, they can all have upwards of like 90 resolve, which gives them like a 60% chance to resist getting mind controlled. Okay, I think for the ranged guy, let's go straight for quick hands, because then I can quick hands to some throwing weapons when they're throwing at 2 tiles distance. And also this early on, it lets them launch a few crossbow bolts at range, and then switch to a long axe to break shields if they need to, just as a temporary solution. +5. So I haven't tested it, but my understanding of how that works is the reason you're taunting the witch is so that she just moves forward and uses her punch. She doesn't cast any spells if you use taunt on a witch. Although I stand to be corrected on that. You one shot a raider with a dagger. That does sound satisfying. Okay, I need more inventory space. So you sacrifice nerds need to start wearing some stuff. I seem to recall quite a while... Wait, hang on, I need this flail. Quite a while ago, there was an argument you could make to increase your inventory. You would have cheap bros, like beggars, and just use them as inventory space. You can do that now as a free inventory buff with the indebted. Because you just got to pay the upfront cost to buy them. But then really, they are going to just be carrying stuff for you, effectively for free. It's just occurred to me. Just use the indebted as cargo mules. Wait, one of these lads needed an extra flail. Sword tank, goon, flail, dagger lad, dagger, dagger lad, dagger, goon, flail, sword, flail. Okay, now we're good for flails. Well, honestly, 2 kills. I've experienced that firsthand, and it's noticeable. Oh, come on, make me fight these fuckers. The economic effect, that is. the bonus is noticeable. You make more money. $92, that's fine. 76, that's fine. Oh, they left us. Whew. Saves on tools too, indeed. And by the way, look here, it says we got 19 out of 20 lads. Isn't there an achievement to have... Oh, the 25-man achievement is for the peasants. Cresting a small hill, you see a caravan of people along the road. They're trundling down the path with pots and pans, clinking along the wagon sides. Children swinging. Let the goblins make their move, swoop in and clean up the mess. Easier to fight them when they're tangled up, no? I don't have my kite shields equipped. We'll attack now, but let's take a little break. This is an hour long now, this episode. So for YouTube people, when we come back, we're going to be fighting some goblins. Ugh, I kind of don't want to get involved. We're in the middle of... No, we're not going to get involved. We're in the middle of guarding a caravan. No. Be smart.